Welcome inside Gore Arena. You're watching women's college basketball on ESPN Plus. As the Western Carolina Catamounts strut to town, taking on the Campbell Fighting Camels. Welcome to courtside with the Hall of Fame coach Wanda Watkins. I'm Evan Budrovich. Campbell coach Ronnie Fisher described this matchup as a battle for toughness. The tougher team will win tonight. When you have two defensive-minded clubs, what's the most intriguing part of this game?
Well, I think both these teams are very defensive-oriented. Obviously, you can look at their stats and tell that. And their defense equals motivation for their offense. Should make for a really exciting contest tonight.
Campbell hits 9 threes a game. How important will a three-point game be for their offense?
Well, they have an arsenal of three-point shooters. It's not 1, 2, or 3. It's a lot of players, and that's going to be very important for Campbell in the offset of the game.
Western Carolina, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. They rank in the top 10 in total rebounding. How can they attack the glass tonight?
Well, they're very good at getting to the offensive glass and the defensive glass and helping them move their offense, out-rebounding their opponents by 12 rebounds a game. Critical, important point going into the game tonight. Who's going to get the most rebounds?
These teams have met 21 times. The matchup is nearly dead even. Western Carolina, a one-game advantage in the all-time series. So let's decide some things here tonight on ESPN Plus. Wendy, what do you think? Two defensive-minded clubs ready to roll. How do you get your club ready for a matchup like this?
Well, it's interesting, too, because I think both these coaches would say that their defense motivates their offense. It gets their break going, and it just does a lot to generate enthusiasm for their ball clubs.
So
interesting, as Coach Fisher said earlier today, interesting when you really play hard on defense how your offense improves, too.
Here's the Western starting five. Andrea Ruiz, the lone senior in the starting attack. Without the leading scorer from last year, Kyla Allison out via injury. So a Western lineup that has to replace 40% of its scoring. They've leaned on Nadia Marshall so much this year at 14 points a game.
Campbell really getting up into the passing lanes defensively.
Late in the clock for Madison Pack, and that is off. What a fight for the rebounds. And Bolton, the Camels' all-time rebounder, comes out with it. We mentioned the importance of rebounding. Western Carolina plus 12 on the boards. They're so physical on the glass.
Well, they
Campbell's
are.
Starting five.
When that shot went up a minute ago, it was just like they had about 3 players that tried to dive on it. They just went to the glass so hard.
Another missed shot. One thing struggling offensively for Western, shooting just 40% per game. Have to improve on that. Campbell, meanwhile, coming off a fantastic offensive outing. 4 players in double figures last Wednesday in a win over South Carolina State. Led by Tooley, who had 12 herself and hits her first 3.
Good look for Tooley coming off of that screen there on the left elbow for Campbell.
And with that three-pointer, Wanda, Tooley's now moved into second place all-time, 169 career three-pointers.
She can shoot it. Not surprising.
The senior stepping up for her club, 40% in her career from deep. The Catamounts struggled from 3, only making 2 three-pointers a game, and there's another turnover.
Campbell doing a good job defensively right now. Pressuring and yet staying off the ball, not getting beat on the basketball.
Brittany Staves worked with our officials to make sure she can get the ball. Nick Kappel's crew with Danielle Jackson and Brandon Marion.
Both teams sticking with their sticky defense, their man-to-man defenses.
We asked both coaches today the importance of that defense, and they said this is a litmus test game for conference play with how physical these teams are.
Well, they get after it.
Tooley, 2 for 2 to start her performance.
Tooley started out with a hot hand here for Campbell.
She's coming off a hamstring injury, and Ronnie said this week in practice was her best week of the season. Starting to see that early in this game.
Yeah, I think she's playing herself into better condition. And, you know, it's interesting to know how your conditioning level can have an impact on your shooting.
All she's done is lead this team in three-pointers this year, and Bolden gets her hand in the pass. Physicality from the 6th-year senior.
Campbell really exerting a lot of energy on defense right now.
Remember, Campbell had 4 days off from their last performance, and Ronnie said, head coach Ronnie Fisher, the hardest 4 days of practice of the season, certainly playing itself out tonight.
He's really trying to get his players to play with a lot of energy throughout the basketball game.
Shot clock to 5 and another turnover. Campbell forced 22 turnovers in the win on Thursday over South Carolina State. Here's this offense that assists the ball 19 times a game. So proficient moving it around.
A lot of touches for Campbell.
So Serrano gets her touch from 3. And a rebound for Staves.
There's an offensive rebound for Campbell.
Campbell only +5 in rebounding, but they face a Western Carolina team who's 17th in the country on the boards.
And Western really out-rebounded their opponents by a little over 12 rebounds a game.
Tuli thought she was hit, instead a missed 3. And here comes Vanessa Oduya, the junior out of Nigeria. She was a neat story, junior college transfer, won a national championship at Barton Community College.
Trying to get her team organized right now.
Faith Price, active hands and a steal. Oh, and a strip right back. Good hands from Zenoria Cruz.
It's not going to be a reset that time.
Cruz was 6. Great pass down low and a traveling that's not called instead of layup. Wow.
Might have got by with a little bit that time, but that was a beautiful pass nonetheless by Cruz.
We have a foul underneath, a touch foul on India Holiday, the junior out of Mississippi.
It's a good call by the official. Point of emphasis. Always unnecessary roughness in the post. Can't put 2 of anything back there.
For subs for the Camels, Christabel Izuma, the sophomore forward, and Svenja Nuremberg, the junior. How important will depth and the bench be tonight for Ronnie Fisher's club?
The depth for Campbell has really been an asset for their program. They can go deep into their bench and continue to have high energy and productivity.
Shot clock under 10 here for Tuli. He's 2 for 3 from the field. So chucks up another, and again, way off. That's off Tuli, so Western Carolina basketball. Head coach Kylie Hill in year 3. This is a rebuilding process. A Western team that's won just 5 games last year, trying to match that total this season. A total rebuild here in Cullowhee.
Coach Hill, coming from such a successful program at Valdosta State, doing such a great job there. A very seasoned coach and working hard to move his program forward.
That was a sloppy miss there. So it sets up Serrano, feeds Tuli, and an easy layup. You can't allow transition points.
Points off turnovers really helping Campbell right now. Her defense is equaling offense like we talked about before the game, Evan.
That's 5 points off of turnovers. We asked Ronnie Fisher how his team's going to settle in. He said it all starts defensively. 4 early turnovers forced in these 5 minutes. Now a 3-pointer for the Catamounts, and that is strong. We have a foul underneath and an offensive foul on Western. We'll take the timeout. Campbell leads by 6 early on in this first quarter.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Hard work, a love for the game, is mandatory down here. Sacrifice, a desire to be great, lives down here. Excellence, the will to compete, persists down here. This is the Big South, where winners are made.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
It's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Campbell head coach Ronnie Fisher earned his 100th victory last week. He said it took him longer than he would have liked, but here he is now in year 6, and clearly his club is locked in defensively to begin this game.
Yes, they really have. Their defense is really motivating their offense. They're getting some fast break points, and I think it's just making them play harder throughout the basketball game. But tremendous accomplishment already for Coach Fisher. Just in his 6th year, 100 wins at Campbell. Oh, that's right at 20 a year. Tremendous.
All Fisher's done is earn 4 20-win seasons in his tenure. And he mentioned the importance of playing a team like Western Carolina, a similar opponent in the Big South. They played 5 Big South teams this year, a nice test to get ready for conference.
It is. All these games are good tests, and just give you an idea of things. You know, every game we have, I know Coach Fisher really is working hard to try to, and Coach Hill, to try to get their teams better, to be more prepared for conference play when it gets here. So every night out now is a lesson and of learning and finding out what you need to work on to get better before you start those conference games that really count down the stretch.
Coach Hill said this game is the biggest litmus test for Western Carolina, the toughest team in the Big South coming in. They're playing like it tonight. Azuma, good kick out to Nuremberg, and that moon ball is off. Campbell 2 of 7 from deep today.
Both those two belonging to Thule.
The Catamounts struggling to get offense going, just 1 of 4 from the field. And Price up in the grill here of Zenoria Cruz. There's a turnover that stays on this end.
Campbell really making it hard for Western on offense. They're picking their dribbles up. They're getting up in the passing lanes. Notice how they're pushing the perimeter out really deep. There's a touch going into the backcourt.
Thought that should have been an over-the-back call. Instead, possession down to 4. Late in the clock for Oduya. Looks up with 1 and knocks it home.
Oh, wow. Good timing by Western, and Oduya hanging in there, going to the basket, and realizing that shot clock was going down.
Oduya averages 9 points a game. Maybe her prettiest shot right there. Late in the clock, have to understand circumstance, and she made a good play.
Yeah, heady play. Very heady play.
Now the pressure on Thule defensively. Campbell settling for 3s early, 7 of their first 8 shots.
Western really coming across the paint that time to help.
There's a jump ball, and possession stays here with Campbell.
Good defensive stand by Western. Really working hard to come across the backside, get their defense to rotate, cover down.
So in fact, on the jump ball, it is Campbell possession. 3 seconds left.
It's physical out there.
Bolden with 2, jacks up a 3, and she's fouled. Inexcusable mistake from Nadia Marshall.
Oh, those are the kind that drive you crazy as a coach. You know, you work so hard to get that shot clock down and then to foul.
Especially with Taya Bolden only making 2 3-pointers in her career. There's really no reason to guard her in that point.
Right.
As Bolden knocks down the first. Her free throw shooting has vastly improved this year, up to 92%.
Bolden has really, that's an area she needed to improve on, and she's really worked hard to improve on.
Largest lead for the Camels now at 6.
Campbell coming up with their three-quarter press now.
How does that change the rhythm for Western offensively?
We'll see.
Reed attacks, can't get it to go.
A lot of times it will force a quick shot, as it did that time, if they can control the defensive glass.
Here's the hottest shooter in the Big South, Faith Price, with another three. She's hit 16 of those in her last 4 games.
Yeah, that's a young lady that has really stepped it up for Campbell. Hitting 17 points at East Carolina.
And ironically enough, we asked Ronnie Fisher, where did that offense come from? He said it was her defense that set up her three-point shooting.
Yeah, I think he alluded to the fact that she's really playing harder on defense. It's really motivating her offense.
But here's Price shooting 57% in her last 5 games.
There's a mere takeaway by Tooley that time. Odua
attacks, can't hit. Boy, Western Carolina's biggest key entering this game was making their layups, and they've struggled on easy shots.
They really have.
Nuremberg to the lane. There's a blocking foul, sending Svenja to the free throw line.
I think that would probably have been a good take by Western had she not been in the arc. Nuremberg, another player for Campbell that's really working hard to try and play herself into condition after coming off of that injury. A player that's worked really hard to get back. And we saw that drive and the try to get that defensive take and charge.
Ooh, Svenja 0 for 2 from the line.
That doesn't happen too often.
Still a 9-point lead, but a chance for more in this first quarter. Western Carolina's lowest scoring quarter of the year was 6. And they have some work to do here with 2 minutes to play. Andrea Martin-Ruiz, the point guard, sets things up. Nice dump down low to Marshall, but can't hit her layup. Wanda Kiley-Hill said his team has got to convert in the lane this week, and they have really struggled in that department today.
Yeah, they've gotten some good opportunities, but they're just falling short.
Resulted in a slow shooting start. She's 2 of 8 from the field.
Look out.
Price, one more time, no. Wanda, you ever had a shooter make this many three-pointers, shooting 60% in her last 5 games?
She has really, really stepped it up for Campbell.
Clock at 1.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Western Carolina struggling mightily, 2 of 8. Another miss, second chance, and there it is.
It's a good extra effort that time by Marshall.
Nadia Marshall cleans it up. The reigning all-conference performer in the Southern steps up there.
Loaded with athleticism. Marshall just really looks like she's got springs on her feet. She gets up. So athletic. I can't. It seems like he's really loud and you're really low.
Back to a 6-point game here with 1.5 minutes to play. Audrey Fuller checks in, the freshman out of Brisbane, Australia. She's typically been the starter, but coming off the bench here these last 2 games. Dump down to Bolden. Campbell's leading scorer on the year. Looks for help with 8. Serrano zigs in, and a pass deflected. Nadia Marshall there in the passing lane.
Western really doing a good defensive job. Last few times down the floor, putting a lot of pressure on Campbell, getting their hands on balls and making it hard for them to penetrate and get to the basket.
We mentioned the turnovers. Only 1 giveaway for the Camels today. That's their first. Final minute of this opening quarter. Justice pass is tipped. Here's Staves. Good outlet to Fuller.
What a pass.
And she's stripped by Justice. Wow, to
What
lose
a
the
pass.
ball and to come back and get the steal. That's impressive.
Yeah, what a pass by Staves that time too. There's the steal. Look at that pass.
So Serrano on the lay-in, making it an 8-point game. How can Western Carolina find its rhythm offensively? Here's India Holiday all by herself. Not known for her scoring, the Jones College transfer. Marshall, good outlet, but it's stolen and knocked out of play with 10 on the clock.
Pretty good rotation down again, that time by Price for Campbell.
Every pass difficult against this Campbell defense that last year ranked in the top 10 in the country in scoring. They've dipped a bit this year, Coach, now sitting 50th overall.
Their defense is so impressive, and the mere steals and the deflections they get are.
Clock to 1, and a shot clock. Oh, a foul late in the clock. So Audrey Myers, the sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina, heads to the line.
Again, one of those you don't want as that shot clock's going down, but nonetheless, Myers goes to the free throw line.
Myers, 100% from the line this year, 2 for 2, and adds to it.
Western a really good free throw shooting team, Evan. Wow. Close one.
A lot of ball and a lot of arm on that one. As Myers, a friendly bounce, and she goes to the bench. So despite just 3 shots made from the field for Western Carolina, they're hanging around in this first quarter. How have they made things interesting?
Well, they have, and I think they've upped their ante defensively. All these deflections are mere turnovers.
Staves comes up short on the 3, and that ends the first quarter. Campbell leads by 6 as we head to the second quarter here on ESPN+. You hear me better, Coach? You hear me better?
I can hear you okay, not great.
Okay. Will this help? You hear me better now?
Yeah, about the same.
Okay.
Say something else.
Just talking
Yeah,
to you?
I can hear you. I hear the band better than I hear you. I hear the band a little better than I do you.
Okay, so I'm talking to you so you can hear me, and then if you isolate one as channel and then turn up the PXP in her ear as a solo, that should help her be able to hear me better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. What do you think, Wanda? What's going on tonight?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you okay. Whenever he comes in and speaks, I totally can't hear what you're saying.
Right.
So that's why I'm looking at you like I'm puzzled, because I can't hear what you're saying and I don't know how to comment back.
Okay.
You hear the pep band really loud in yours?
Not as much, no. Shai Tooley off to a hot start, shooting the three-pointer, 2 of 4 from downtown.
Tooley really started off strong in this game today. Mindset was right, and notice also on the defensive end of things, she's getting her hands on a lot of balls.
You see Thule here, the all-time second-ranked three-point shooter, and her prolific shooting has developed as their careers continue. Second best all-time behind Caroline Bounds in three-point makes. That goes out of play.
You know, everybody talks about Thule and the way she shoots the basketball, which it is superb, but she has really enhanced her overall game here at Campbell and has really worked hard to be a strong defensive player, good rebounder.
That's the third shot clock violation of the quarter. And Western Carolina's lost track of the clock a bunch tonight.
Well, we knew it was going to be a great defensive game. Both teams are living up to that.
You do wonder if your coach, Kylie Hill, how your offense finds some rhythm and continuity in this half. Really struggling to get clean shots.
There's a back screen and a cut going to the basket for Bolden.
Bolden gets her own rebound and finds Thule. Nice pass. Bolden, that time she's got it.
Great teamwork that time by Thule, giving up the shot and hitting Bolden inside. Majority of Campbell's points have come on the perimeter in this game, or have come from the perimeter in this game.
Taya Bolden within 5 points of 1,000 in her career. Also nearing 1,000 rebounds. Might be a little tougher. She needs 16 tonight. Well, she does have 4 early, so on track if the numbers continue. Late in the clock for Justice. That's a tough jumper. And Thule gets away with a bump.
Yep, sure did. Coach Hill's talking to the referee about it.
Fuller from the corner, not even close. Bolden says, thanks for the pass. I'll swing it back out. The sixth-year senior goes to work, and an easy floater.
You know, the thing that makes that it's so frustrating as a coach is that she scored that on a second chance point. You know, but she's so good at getting to the glass.
So Taya Bolden, 6 points, all in this quarter. Doing a great job in the rebounding department as well. Western Carolina struggling to shoot 25%. And a steal for Thule. Shai runs the break with a good head of steam and kicks it back out. As Serrano draws the foul. First foul of the quarter for Western Carolina.
Campbell really attacking the rack now, getting to the basket. You know, we just spoke about Thule in her overall game. There she gets another takeaway. She's, a very solid rebounder for Campbell. Has almost 3 assists a game. Just a good, complete player for Campbell.
Coleman on the first entry of this game. Goes to work up top. Connie Fisher loves her effort defensively. We'll see how that plays out on this end of the court as Bolden's having a career quarter, 8 points.
Bolden's going to it tonight, showing her athleticism.
Timeout call, Western Carolina, as Bolden extends the lead to 12. We'll take the timeout on the court here on ESPN+.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road. helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
Big things are happening this year across the South, from the mountains to the coast. The fast are getting faster. The strong are getting stronger. And the best is getting better. Get ready to raise your expectations. Get ready for something big. Ingles, a proud sponsor of Big South football.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story.
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
In sports,
we are used to an even playing field.
Unfortunately,
off the field,
court,
track,
closed.
not all people are treated fairly.
In the Big South Conference,
we commit to using our voices
to oppose injustices and inequalities.
Join us as we champion change
towards ensuring even playing fields
in and out of sports.
The Big South Conference.
We're allies.
We're advocates.
Where winners are made.
Taya Bolden going to work with 8 points in this second quarter, taking over on offense.
Bolden really showing her athleticism, a nice finesse move that time.
How about these numbers in her career, nearing 1,000 rebounds and 43 double-doubles, doing it all in 6 seasons.
She really has. She's going to move up that career point ladder, and she's also, I think, got a good opportunity probably to become the all-time leading rebounder here at Campbell. Lacks about 128 rebounds.
April Cromartie holds that record from 2002. And now the press is on early in the second quarter. Good job saving that ball by Joy Reid.
It really was. Look at the time that Campbell took off the 30-second clock that time. Took him about almost 15 seconds off.
Nadia Marshall works up top. She's coming off her 5th career double-double on Saturday in the loss to Winthrop. Shot clock to 5. Cruz looks up with 2 and lost track of the clock. That's the 4th shot clock violation forced today.
Another turnover, another possession for Campbell.
How has this defense been so stifling against Western Carolina?
They're really energetic. They're getting up in the passing lanes, and when Western kills their dribble, they're making that pass extremely hard thereafter.
It held to the Catamounts to 26% shooting. That would be 20 points below their average. One of the many reasons Ronnie Fisher's defense is nationally ranked year in and year out in scoring. Tooley with a wide open 3, and there's her 3rd of the day.
Yeah, assist for Bolden, you know. The ball went inside to her. She got doubled on, and Tooley's gal went down on her, and she threw it back out for the open look for Tooley. Great teamwork.
Also helps when your offense has hit 4 3-pointers. Cruz backs down Price and is immediately doubled. No easy shots for the Catamounts.
No, they're getting down in the shot clock on each possession.
Ruiz with 4, gets a hop step, sets up a shooter, and way off on the 3. Effectively a violation.
Here comes Campbell on the break.
You mentioned Campbell's defense fueling its offense. That seems Exhibit A tonight.
Really, they've played with so much energy on offense. It's certainly motivated them, or excuse me, defense. It's certainly motivated their offense.
And with that basket, Taya Bolden joins the 1,000-point scoring club.
Bolden's really feeling it.
So we mentioned the scoring for Bolden. She is stepping up, and a big moment with her teammates there.
Yeah, brought a little smile on her face.
Wanda, you recruited Taya Bolden in her career. What a moment for the 6th-year senior who's had a nice second quarter today.
She really has. Been pretty effective inside, not only on the glass, but inside with 10 points already and 7 rebounds. She's almost locked in for another double-double, not quite halftime.
So here's what's cooking for Campbell offensively entering this game. All of a sudden, you have 3 players nearly averaging double figures, and that's been the case with 2 tonight.
It really has. And here we see their pressure again, and Campbell's using that to kind of take some time off the clock. And
but Wanda, what
now
about
now they've dropped back into a, I believe they've dropped into a zone defense.
leaving Marshall wide open for the layup?
I think they might have fallen back into a zone defense that time.
Western Carolina read it well there for an easy layup.
Maybe not. We'll take another look.
How do the Catamounts pick up their defense? How do they make this tougher on Campbell?
We know they had a good spurt, and now Campbell's really isolating Bolden inside.
There's a blocking foul underneath. Cruz wanted the charge, and instead Bolden, that's the 3rd foul she's drawn today.
You know, we talked about early on in the game, I can remember when 10 of their first 13 shots came from the perimeter of the floor. Now Campbell's really isolating Bolden inside, and she's going to work.
Campbell's made its last 4 shots from the field, extending this lead in the second quarter.
There's a double on Bolden. So someone's going to be open when that happens.
Tilly lost track of the ball and gives it away. It's Campbell's only 2nd turnover today. So if you're Western Carolina, 4-2 at home, very good in Cullowhee, but 0-3 on the road. And the scoring is dipped by nearly 10 points a game. Here's a steal by Coleman. That'll continue. Running the break and gives it right back.
Coleman trying to unselfishly deliver the ball to her teammate. Got caught by the Western defense on the backside that time. She's going to get it back, she says.
Trying her best to. Here's a loose ball again. Good pass, but stolen by Bolden, who wisely hits the brakes because Ruiz is in her grill. Works it ahead to Staves and through some contact and air ball.
Oh, Campbell on the run that time.
And you see Coach Hill there. Hey, let's slow it down. Let's be patient here.
Western going to be methodical and look to get a good shot here on this possession.
Ruiz, the 5th-year senior, goes to work in the post, and Coleman says no. Man, no easy shots for Western Carolina tonight.
Yeah, they're getting there. They're getting to the rack, but they can't get them off, or when they do, they're just not falling.
Coach Kylie Hill said, we're doing 3 things well to win basketball games. Win the rebounding battle, be aggressive, and finish layups. They've really struggled in that department with the layups tonight. How do they fix some of those things offensively?
You got to keep taking them.
Got to get a shot off in time, too. That's an air ball and the 5th shot clock violation of this game.
Campbell's defense is really making it tough right now.
Western Carolina, 3 turnovers in their last minute and 46 seconds. All forced because of shot clock violations.
Yep.
Remember, we're in the second quarter here, and Western only has 11 points. That's tough basketball. It's hard to win that way.
It is. It really is, and you got to attribute some of that to Campbell's defense, too, and all those 30-second violations.
As Coleman gives it right back. So the Camels are in a 2-minute scoring drought. Western's in a 3-minute scoring drought, and clearly offense tough to come by.
We knew it was going to be a defensive battle.
Maybe a race to 50 tonight. Last time these teams met, Campbell held Western Carolina to 38 points. That was the fewest the Catamounts scored all season in 2019.
Campbell's shooting well from the floor now, though.
Those numbers sitting at 48%. And a foul here on Nuremberg, hand touch foul. See Shaituli taking the lead with their team in these huddles.
Well, I guess they say that Nuremberg must have pushed off with her arm.
Nice drive to the basket. Marshall, no. But another fight for the rebound, and Dahlquist somehow sneaks through with it. Here's a reach-in foul. And a bit of physicality there from Joy Reed.
Yeah, it was a good drive. I mean, she had the move to the basket, and Holiday just couldn't get the basket to fall.
Nice outlet to Nuremberg, who's left wide open. Almost wanted to shoot that shot if you're Ronnie Fisher. Here's a steal. Good hands from Justice, who runs the break and puts it home.
There's Western taking a pass away.
Third turnover forced by the Catamounts, and it stops a 3-minute scoring drought. Let's see if Justice Steele can spark a run here for Western Carolina. Nuremberg attacks and comes up strong.
Next 2 minutes going to be important for Western. Try to gain a little momentum going into the locker room before halftime.
The Catamount club that has lost 2 straight on the road, looking for a big road win today. Justice, nice pass, good swing around. And nope, not even close on the 3. There's a miss for Audrey Myers, the sophomore from Charlotte. Look at Dahlquist on the
what
find.
A pass by Carver.
Good vision from the senior point guard.
Dahlquist, you know, really good hands too by the big girl inside.
So that's 6 assists on 11 made baskets for Campbell. They've averaged 18 assists per game. That's 5 more than the previous season.
That shows the depth and the chemistry they play with on offense to have that number. And
final minute of this first half as Tooley dumps it along, and Carver clunks the 3. A lot of bad misses today.
yeah, Carver can shoot that.
A little forced, 4 of 13 from deep.
Tooley really
making
working.
life tough for Joy Reed.
She really is.
Carver in the face of Justice with 10 on the clock. Now the mismatch. Here's an open shooter. Myers can't hit. Western Carolina just 0 of 4 from downtown.
Campbell's defense has really been the name of the game this first half. It's really held Western down in their field goal percentage.
Price was 6. There's an offensive foul on the screen, so Dahlquist commits her first. Only the second team foul for the Camels. In a low-scoring, defensive-minded first half as Timber Motes, the redshirt senior out of South Carolina, checks in. It's like a game of cat and mouse on the court. Someone's got to catch the ball.
Yeah, Campbell picking up, trying to take time off that.
And an air ball ends the first half. Low-scoring basketball game dominated by defense. The Camels force 5 turnovers in the final 3 minutes, and they lead by 15 here at the break.
Do we have somebody get hurt over there? Did I miss that?
Hurt? I don't think so.
I thought it was somebody over there on the training table over there with Georgia and, somebody on the table over there. With Cynthia and Matt. one of my former players out there. You're close. How you doing? You all right?
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Hercules Tires. Right on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Ingles, low prices, love them savings. Sunbelt Rentals, we have equipment for that. And First Citizens Bank, forever first. Campbell leads by 15 at the break. Pepsi, of course, also a sponsor of the Big South. And Wanda, their defense has been locked in. The nation's top 10 leader in scoring defense last year. Showing more of that here tonight.
Yeah, it's been truly a half at Campbell's defense has really paid off and made a big difference for them. They've also hit 4 3-pointers, which that in itself can also suffice for this 15-point deficit almost. So I think they've shot the ball well and really made it hard for Western. You know, when they get those shots off, oftentimes they're rushed, and they've had some pretty good layup shots that just won't fall.
So Campbell with a 15-point lead. When we come back, highlights and stats from the first half as the Camels lead by 15.
It'll be a long night for them.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
It's just these are hard games to work because it's just there's no semblance of offense. Like
I mean, they've taken everything away from them.
Yeah.
You know, 13 points.
So with the free throws, like they have 5 baskets in this game.
Yeah.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not in like a 3-minute stretch, you know. It's just.
Yeah. If they just drive and get to the line, I mean, because they can make free throws, but they can't. Campbell's taking everything. They've got them totally out of sync, I think.
Yeah.
How you say that nicely on the air, I don't know, but.
No, I've learned to be a little more brutally honest with it. Hey, this team's got to play better.
Yeah.
If they want to win the Southern Conference, they got to find ways to score. Starting the Christmas season a little early here in Gore Arena. Gaylord and Gladys the Camel all decked out, ready to roll. So, Wanda, here's our first half highlights from Gore Arena, because this game was dominated by some defense and physicality. Shaituli got rolling early with 6 quick points.
She did. She knocked in 2 3-pointers, which kind of gave Campbell a good lift, and here we see her knock in another layup. Big factor. Really distributing the basketball well, too. Thule averages, like we said earlier in the half, almost 3 assists per game.
And then Taya Bolden in double figures for the 47th time in her career, 10 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice showing by Bolden, and just really putting some points up on the board on the interior.
There was a good steal for Justice, one of the lone fast break layups for Western Carolina. Then a nice find there from Carver.
One of the prettiest passes of the half. Carver that time to Dalquist.
So here's what these teams do well, and clearly Campbell can hit their three-pointers. They're playing great defense on the scoring side of things, and Western Carolina, they have some work to do to get back in this game.
They do, and I think Campbell has really, they dominated that half. Their defense made all the difference in the world. They were able to convert steals and turnovers into points at the other end. They had 6 steals, 6 turnovers. Western had 6 turnovers. And Campbell was able to convert those at the other end of the floor. And then on top of that, they hit 4 3-pointers, which is a 12-point deficit to Western's no 3-pointers in that half.
We'll take a timeout. When we come back, some stats from the first half. The Camels are rolling here through 20 minutes. Welcome back inside Gore Arena. So here's what's cooking in the Big South Conference, because conference play begins in 3 weeks. Wanda, how about the start for USC Upstate in non-conference play? And Charlie Crane this week had Presbyterian as his favorite in the Big South with his latest projections for NCAA play.
I tell you, it is going to be a battle all the way down the stretch. This thing can jockey up and down and turn upside down 2 or 3 times between now and March.
You see the preseason favorites in High Point at 3-5. And then a team you thought highly of, NCAA. They put a rigorous schedule, but the bottom of this league, not as bad as the records look with some of the teams they've played, but this is a club that could be 7 or 8 teams deep with talented units.
Yeah, really, it's going to be, there's just so much parity in this league, and it's hard to tell when you're looking at out-of-conference schedules because so many teams play up. It's just, it's hard to tell. That race will tell the story as we approach that conference season pretty soon now.
Campbell rolling to a 15-point lead here in this first half. And Wanda, we mentioned the defense really leading the charge, and they have shut down Western Carolina. Hold the Catamounts scoreless for the final 3 minutes of that half and really just took over. There's your first half stats. No threes for the Catamounts. They only make 2 a game. We mentioned Campbell hitting their 3-point shots, so right on the mark. 4 in the first half, and that was really the difference.
Yeah, it really was. Between that and points off turnovers, I think that was a whole difference in the half for Campbell.
Campbell leads by 15 here at the break, and we'll have the final 20 minutes of this game when we come back here on ESPN+.
Big things are happening this year across the South, from the mountains to the coast. The fast are getting faster. The strong are getting stronger. And the best is getting better. Get ready to raise your expectations. Get ready for something big. Ingles, a proud sponsor of Big South football.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story.
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
In sports,
We are used to an even playing field.
Unfortunately,
Off the field,
court,
track,
Cost.
not all people are treated fairly.
In the Big South Conference,
We commit to using our voices
to oppose injustices and inequalities.
Join us as we champion change.
towards ensuring even playing fields.
In and out of sports.
The Big South Conference,
We're allies.
we're advocates.
where winners are made.
Campbell's rolling to a 15-point lead here at the break. 21st all-time matchup between these clubs, and you do wonder where Western Carolina is going to find some offense. They have really struggled this first half. Campbell's, meanwhile, not struggling by any means in this one. Ronnie Fisher mentioned this week his team, in order to continue winning, they have to deal with injuries and be fully healthy, while for Western Carolina, they need to get those intangibles right and execute. And that has been a struggle for the Catamounts today. But Coach Hill, to his credit, he has improved his squad vastly. A team that only had 5 wins last year, now with 4. Wanda, let's be frank. Where is the offense going to come from for Western Carolina in the second half?
We may see them try to spread the floor and try to get to the basket. They're a very good free throw shooting team. They only shot 3 free throws that half, made all of them. But I know they're a good free throw shooting team. They had some good drives in that first half. The shots just didn't seem to want to fall. We'll see. It's a whole new ball game, total different half. Anything can happen, and I'm sure Coach Hill did some talking to those young ladies, motivate them at halftime. But I think their offensive productivity is going to be important going into this half for Western. And then Campbell can't get stagnant either. They got to keep playing hard.
The Catamounts 2-3 against Big South foes, but this may be their biggest test of the season. Coach Hill mentioned the importance of playing teams of his ilk. Didn't want to schedule too many Power Fives early. As Staves looks up with 4. Tough fadeaway. And can't get the bounce. Coleman the rebound.
Coleman. Boy, you can hear the
Let's see who the foul's on
Swatting
here.
inside that time. I could hear that over here, couldn't you, Evan?
So India Holiday picked it up. That was a whack going up for that rebound. All Campbell did in the first half, 11 of 25 shooting, pretty efficient for the Big South's leader in scoring offense. You don't hear that too often from a Campbell team. Bolden is stripped, good steal, Oduya. Here comes Cruz, run on the floor to Oduya. Oh my gosh, coach.
Oh, that's that layup we're talking about they need for
You do the work to get the steal and you gotta hit that layup. It's been a struggle for Western Carolina, their biggest offensive woe, hitting layups. You don't see that too often, but that's Kylie Hill's biggest adjustment.
Adua, I thought she was going to take that 1-on-3, but she pulled it out smartly.
Coach Hill trying to keep his patience in year 3, the former Southern Miss associate head coach. Now the dump down to Holiday. Good spin and an offensive foul. Bolden kept her position.
Bolden holding her ground in there.
That's the third foul on Holiday.
Here we get a look.
Oh.
I think it was with the upper body where she got hit.
I think that was a flop, Wanda Watkins. That body flew 20 feet.
I'd love to see it one more time. Looked like she hit her upper body with the ball.
I know Holiday's got some size, but that is quite the acting performance. Bolden now with a good pass to Staves. Clock under 10. Surprise, the hottest shooter on the team, makes her second three. Faith Price is now at 58% shooting this year from three.
She must keep that hand in an electric blanket at halftime, Evan.
I've never owned an electric blanket. Are those valuable?
Are they what?
Are they valuable?
Absolutely.
Come Christmas time. As Holiday draws the foul on Bolden, who begs her case, and my hands are in the air. It wasn't on me.
And here Western's going to get to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
Western Carolina, in fact, the best free throw shooting team in the Southern Conference at 74%.
This young lady shoots over 90% from the free throw line.
Holiday 21 of 23 this year.
Oh, we jinxed her.
You don't see that too often from a post player to have such prolific shooting at the line. Western Carolina chasing Iowa, the best free throw team in the country, at 95%. But those 2 misses won't help.
Wow.
What do you see as a coach tomorrow morning, Wanda? Clearly some things on your mind if you're Western Carolina.
Well, you know, you have to regroup. You have to take the good, the bad, and the ugly all together. And
there's a foul on Nadia Marshall, boxing out Bolden.
Keep plugging and try to get better. You know, you want to play good opposition in your non-conference schedule anyway. It clearly defines quickly what you need to work on.
Well, and these two teams have some work to do, both in the bottom 50 in the country in strength of schedule, so it's only going to get tougher as the year goes on. Here's a steal for Reed. Western in transition, Oduya. Nice pass. Nice. And Marshall puts it home.
Beautiful body control by Oduya, too.
There's a transition layup. That was big for Western Carolina. I just go back to the point Coach Hill made today. Layups are the biggest key for improvement for this club as Staves takes advantage of the layup.
There's Staves getting a layup of her own.
Yeah, how does that change things when your club can convert easy looks?
Yeah, it kills your momentum when you have a good play like Western had, and then Campbell goes down and hits a 1-footer.
It's a game of inches and a whole new sense of it.
You better believe it.
How much time as a staff do you spend on layups and inside post moves? I feel like it's a basic fundamental, but something that's overlooked in this game.
Well, it is, you know, and it's one of those things like.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's one of those off-season things where you have to go in and work hard on it, and you have to do it frequently during the season too. You've got to go in and work on those things. You don't want to take anything for granted.
Tooley short on the deep 2, and Bolden there to save it. 9 rebounds for Taya, and a timeout called by Ronnie Fisher. We'll take the media timeout as well. Low-scoring basketball game, defensive-minded battle here on ESPN+. Here's what's been cooking in the second half. Faith Price with her second three of the game, and Campbell's offense coming to life early.
Well, Price doesn't need long to put that shot up. Western's long layup.
So we mentioned in this game, Western Carolina has to do well on the boards. They're -8, and Campbell's hit 5 threes. It seems like the Camels have clicked on all your keys coming in.
Yeah, Campbell's really doing a good job of distributing the basketball. They're moving the basketball. They're breaking the defense down on offense. And they're just really doing a good job of getting three-point opportunities, pushing the ball inside against the man-to-man and scoring inside, with Bolden being really active and, one rebound away from a double-double already in this game.
So the Catamounts, who won 4 games 2 years ago, 6 wins last year, now looking for a 5th today. This has been a learning experience, a club that is trying to build. Coach Hill called it a slow climb to the top. They're looking for offense here tonight against the Camels' top-ranked defensive unit, 54 points a game allowed. Svenja Nuremberg returns in after the timeout with the clock at 6. Price, nice backdoor slip, but she lost it.
Oh, good thought.
I mean, you do all the hard work, you just got to hang on to it.
Yep. Sometimes you try to shoot it before you can catch it, and sometimes the ball's slick, and it's just one of those things. But it was a great try.
20 combined turnovers for these clubs. Good dump down. It's tipped. Oduya sets it up top. So Western 0-4 from deep. They've looked to fight inside all day. Not much to show for it tonight. Well, again, the clock at 6. Oduya with 5. Gets to her spot. Ew.
Didn't touch.
Not pretty. And a shot clock violation number 6 for Western Carolina. I mean, 6 in a game. Not in a season. 1 game with 30-second shot clock violations.
Yeah, it makes it tough.
Wanda peeling the Band-Aid off with her thoughts. That's a poor offensive performance and some room for improvement for sure. Nuremberg left wide open, fakes the three. That's a good drive. Oh, interesting.
I think you have to give a little credit to Campbell's defense on that, though.
The kick out to Price is knocked in as Bolden gets the double-double, and Price is up to 9 points.
I don't know if it's so much of a poor offensive production or just a tremendous defensive night by Campbell.
So Taya Bolden with her 28th career double-double with that rebound. Western trying to force the ball into Timber Moats in the post, and nothing coming. The entry pass caught, and the lay-in. So Zenoria Cruz knocks it in.
Yeah, it was a good pass that time by Moats.
That was the first basket in 2.5 minutes for Western Carolina.
It was a pretty high-low opportunity for them.
Isn't it funny watching Faith Price hit every shot around the rim today? No trouble. She's hit 12 threes in her last 4 games.
Yeah, she's really been a big difference maker for Campbell of late.
How does that fuel a team come conference play when you start hitting shots like that three-pointer for Aduya?
Yeah, I tell you, a three-pointer can turn things around. It really can. It's just a big lift in a basketball game. But, you know, we saw Campbell when they got started today with 2 quick threes. Just 6 points just like that. And
speaking of threes, Nuremberg way off on the triple. That was the first three-pointer for Western Carolina today. 1 of 5 from deep. Not their strength, only 3 threes a game.
That was an 8 three-pointer for Odua.
Moats is begging for it. Instead, a turnover. And we'll take the timeout. Campbell leads by 16 here in the third quarter as Western looks for some offense when we return.
In sports,
We are used to an even playing field.
Unfortunately,
Off the field,
court,
track,
Cost.
not all people are treated fairly.
In the Big South Conference,
We commit to using our voices
to oppose injustices and inequalities.
Join us as we champion change.
towards ensuring even playing fields.
In and out of sports.
The Big South Conference,
We're allies.
we're advocates.
where winners are made.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Big things are happening this year across the South, from the mountains to the coast. The fast are getting faster. The strong are getting stronger. And the best is getting better. Get ready to raise your expectations. Get ready for something big. Ingles, a proud sponsor of Big South football.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Whether you're a contractor or do-it-yourselfer, Sunbelt Rentals is committed to making it easy to get the tools and equipment you need. With a vast network of locations across the U.S. and Canada, no one brings more yes to your project. Our broad inventory and dedicated team of experts makes equipment rental absolutely available, positively reliable, and unquestionably easy. Visit sunbeltrentals.com to reserve your equipment or find a location near you.
Faith Price heating up with 3 three-pointers tonight.
Price has really been a great lift for Campbell. She's moving close to becoming their leading scorer. I tell you, it's close going into this game, and she's really not slowed down at all throughout this basketball game.
So Faith Price now with 3 3-pointers tonight, Wanda. How about these last 5 games? 13 points, plenty of triples. She's become a huge threat offensively.
She really has. I mean, she's been a big lift for Campbell. I mean, we saw her really turn it around in the second half in that East Carolina game where she just ignited their comeback in that game, and she's not let up since then.
Faith Price last year shot around 35% from deep. Now at the 50% range. How does a shooter take such a huge jump?
Hard work. And I think believing. And like Coach Fisher says, she's working really hard on her defense, and that's making her offense better.
She's also become a double-figure scorer night in and night out, where she was barely at 5 points a game last year. That's a big bump for Ronnie Fisher.
Absolutely, averaging 11 points going into this game.
How does that make Campbell a different offense here in conference play? Staves turns it over.
Well, it's another player that's come to the plate for Campbell and just enhanced their depth. Yeah, they just have an arsenal of three-point shooters on any given night.
Because that was the big bugaboo for Campbell in the Big South Championship, right? Lack of three-point shooting. Price was their main option, and they lost to High Point because the Panthers hit 13 threes. Campbell only had about 4. There's a strip by Price. It'll stay here. So if the three-point offense becomes more dynamic, that would seem to solve Ronnie Fisher's Rubik's Cube of how to defeat a team like High Point.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an arsenal of weapons. I mean, at any given point in time in the game, they can run 4 three-point shooters at any given point in time. There we saw a little bit of contact on that.
Cruz was grabbing her finger after the shot.
Good show by Dahlquist.
Clock under 10. That's been the story for Western all day offensively. What a strip by Coleman, and it stays here with 4 on the clock.
Western going to have to really do something quick here to get one off.
I think the key word there is something, because the offense has struggled tonight. Ronnie Fisher's defense has held Western to 20 points, and that continues. Another shot clock violation. I mean, Coach, 30 minutes of basketball. 20 points, that's a credit to defense for sure, but wow, this is interesting. Price can't leave her open. A rare miss from 3. Even her misses look pretty clean off the shot.
It looked good when it left her fingertips, didn't it?
Ronnie Fisher challenged his team this week in practice. It's the healthiest they've been all year, with 2 players back from injury and really playing at their best right now.
Well, I think the days off, you know, the 3 or 4 days off that they had have done them good. They were able to really get down to the nitty-gritty, iron out some areas that they needed to work on, and really work on their endurance and playing hard through these basketball games.
So Shai Tooley and Taya Bolden come in. How about that? Your top 2 scorers return with 2 minutes to go in the third.
Up by almost 20. And
Bolden's riding a double-double of 10 and 10. And Tooley's now the top scorer with 11 tonight. Good steal by Tooley. Here she goes running away. One man to beat, goes right through her and comes up short. Strong defense from Pack. Reed had a thought in transition, kicks it to Pack, and following the block, she hits her first triple.
There's her first 3 tonight.
Second three-pointer for Western Carolina, and that's a huge play for Madison Pack.
Huge play for Western. I'm telling you, threes can turn it around quickly in a game.
This is an 8-0 run for the Catamounts. Ronnie Fisher talked about avoiding these long lulls offensively. That's getting tested here.
Oh,
nice
beautiful
slip to
pick and roll.
They can't hit the lay-in. Oduya swings it outside. Oh, gosh. Errant pass there from Zenoria Cruz. I feel like if you're Western, you're on this 8-0 run. This is the perfect time to put 4 or 5 more points on the board and put pressure on the Camels.
Yeah, a three-pointer, you know, pulls you back to within 10.
If you're Campbell, how do you avoid these lulls where teams can sneak back into a game?
Well, you've got to continue to do the things that you're doing well, and I think the biggest thing is to continue to play hard defensively, to force turnovers and get your offensive chemistry going through your defense.
Staves left open, and she knocks in the 3. So that's the 7-3 for the States.
That's what makes Campbell so deadly. They just got so many three-point shooters.
Western Carolina leading by 7 points for Marshall, 5 for Oduya. How much contributions outside of that? Good pass from Cruz, and that does stay here. So the shot clock's at 9. Western Carolina has worked the clock deep way too many times today.
There's Pack again.
Pack an air ball. So if you're keeping track at home, that's 8 shot clock violations in 3 quarters. I don't know if there's a record for that, but it's definitely up there.
It's been a decisive factor in this game, for sure, Evan.
And this is while Western Carolina is in the midst of an 8-3 run, their best stretch of the day. J.C. Justice returns for the final 10 seconds. There's Justice, who had a breakout game, 9 points against Alabama this year in Tuscaloosa. Fuller with 5, sets up Bolden. Gets it right back to the freshman who jacks up a 3. And a miss to end the third quarter. Race to 50 here in Bowie's Creek. 50 points. Stick around with us for the next 20 minutes. We got some good one here on ESPN+. Campbell has developed an elite scoring trio here as we enter the final quarter. Shai Tooley, Taya Bolden, and Faith Price. Tonight, Wanda, they've combined for 30 points, and that outscores Western Carolina.
Yeah, what a trio they are. And just 3 players that have really great unselfish play and doing a lot for Campbell out on the court.
It all starts on the defensive end, holding Western Carolina to a season low 30% shooting. Even the inbounds pass hard to start this fourth quarter.
A better half for Western a better quarter for Western in the third quarter, however, from the floor. And 2 for 3 from three-point territory.
Joy reads, pass is stolen, and Thule runs the break, looking for Bolden. Instead, pulls her own number, and a short jumper. Oduya on the run. Even fast break, nothing comes easy against this Campbell defense.
Yeah, they're really getting down the floor.
Bolden with a steal. Numbers for Price, who's on the run, kicks it to Thule, and goes to the line.
Wow, that's a tough foul there. It's a hard foul.
See Thule holding her breath.
I think it might have knocked her breath away. Whew. She's holding her quad there.
We'll take a media timeout and check in on Shai Thule when we return.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road.
So following the foul, Courtney Dahlquist subs in. For the injured Shai Thule.
They knocked her breath away. It's a hard foul.
Tough as a player when you see your teammate get knocked to the court. Let's see how Campbell responds here in this fourth quarter. Deep three for Oduya, way short. And a loose ball scooped up by Bolden. Here she goes on the run, riding a double-double tonight. Straight to the basket and no good. As Dahlquist heads to the free throw line. Boy, the physicality in this game picking up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's really getting physical out there, particularly underneath the basket, down around the boards.
Looks like Thule's caught her breath a bit and seems all okay after having a weird injury there that timeout.
Yeah, and it's a dangerous area down there around the basket with all the cameras and the support on the basket. Looks like she's going to be okay.
So Dahlquist comes in, the freshman with 5 rebounds tonight. A sneaky contributor for this team, especially off the bench. She didn't play in the last game.
Yeah, 100% free throw shooter for Campbell, too.
Of course, she debuted with 14 points right in the blink of an eye, and you wonder, well, is she going to be an All-American by the time her career's over?
Really, great promise. Great promise in that young lady. She's shooting 63% from the floor for Campbell going into this game.
There's a steal for Dahlquist. Whoa, look at this ball. Coleman just says, I'll take it, and a jump ball gives Campbell possession.
You got to love that kind of effort. Up by 18 and still after it.
I mean, if that doesn't exemplify a Campbell team, up 18 in the fourth, diving for loose balls, I don't know what does.
Coach Fisher's got to be pleased with the effort tonight.
That was his big challenge for a club after a physical win at South Carolina State. Could his team play for 40 minutes? They've done it for 32. Bolden in the post is doubled. Nice move to create space. Oh, gets her own rebound. I'm not going to count that as a rebound in the official stats. The Staves comes up loose. And Bolden tried for it.
Her rebounds.
She is 2 rebounds away from 1,000 in her career. Also with 1,000 points tonight.
How about that?
Oduya kicks it out. I know she's a 6th-year senior, but to be in the 1,000 club, only 4 players in Campbell history have done it. That's quite a prolific list.
It really is, and 1,000. That's what's so prolific about it. Shows her well-roundedness. And
Bolden draws the foul, so she doesn't get the rebound, but does most of the work there.
Great effort by Bolden, and just a young lady that's worked hard, that loves the game, and you love to see them excel.
You recruited Taya Bolden. What is it taking for an undersized forward to scoop 1,000 rebounds?
Well, she's got a God-given ability to get to the glass, that's for sure.
There she is going to the free throw line.
Strong desire, you know, to get the rebound. And that time we saw her sneak off the backside and cut for a backdoor cut to get that basketball. Just a hard-working young lady. Undersized in the paint. She has to work extremely hard against big kids. And as you alluded to earlier, I think one thing that's really helped her game is her ability to, when she gets to the line, to knock those free throws in this year.
Here's Bolden sitting on 11 points, now with 12. One rebound away from 1,000 points and rebounds.
Something to be proud of.
We joked coming in, well, she needed 14 rebounds and double-figure points. Not sure what was going to happen first. Trying to help her own stats with some rebounds late in this fourth quarter. Oduya on the drive. Nice floater in the lane. There's some production, 7 points.
Oduya continues to work hard for her team.
The product of Asba, Nigeria, who scored 26 against UNC Asheville, her breakout performance. Starters remain in for Campbell with an 18-point lead. Might subtract 2. Here's a steal for Reed. Joy sprints up the court and a hard foul. Price whacked her in the head.
Yeah, well, you know, you want to make sure you get that shooting hand if you're going to foul where they miss.
I mean, Coach, there was very little hand there. There was a lot of face. I understand what you're saying, but that was a physical foul from Faith Price.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we've seen 2 real physical fouls, both going up with shooters, and it's scary when that happens.
Western Carolina, the closest it's been since the first half. Here's Joy Reed, the Elwood, Georgia product. Started her 11th game of her career today, makes the free throw. Wonder how long Ronnie Fisher will keep the starters in for with 6:40 to play.
Oh, there's a good backdoor cut by Tooley.
Tooley feeds Bolden, goes back to her. A lot of players touching the rock here in this fourth quarter. Staves goes up. Bolden with her 1,000th rebound, and she loses it. Uneventful, but it's still 1,000. How about that, Coach? 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds for Bolden. Did you think she could do that when you recruited her 6 years ago?
Well, I tell you, I knew she was tough.
Nadia Marshall cuts into the lead with a layup. How about Bolden, however, elected to come back for her 6th and final season.
Yeah.
And being a tough player for this team.
Great love for the game, and she and Coach Fisher have worked hard to enhance her game since she got here to Campbell, too.
Staves late in the clock on a shot fake. That's a nice move. Then she makes it count.
Textbook perfect on that.
That's an added bonus for Staves. 7 points offensively. How about this? Every shot in the lane she's taken, she's made. Every 3 she's missed. So doing really well inside the 3-point line.
Uh-oh. Coast to coast.
Bolden 1,000 points and give her the lay-in. Adding on some cupcakes on top of this performance. You more like chocolate sprinkles, vanilla? What are you thinking?
What's that?
What's your flavor of sprinkles you go with on a cupcake? There's a turnover for Oduya.
I'd probably have to go with chocolate.
We'll take the
beautiful pass to lead Bolden to the basket for that bucket.
That is a leak out like no other for Taya Bolden. I think that's a senior move there.
You think what?
That's a senior move. I don't need the rebound. I'm just going to go out for the
yeah, and there was no cherry picking on it either. She was going down the floor.
Maybe it's just the speed she runs down the court for the Richmond, Virginia product. Sitting on 130 career games and now with 1,000 rebounds. That's an average of 8.5 rebounds a game in her career.
It's unheard of. Doesn't happen very often.
4th among all active players in the country in rebounds is a foul call here on Western Carolina. And that'll put Campbell in the bonus.
Fuller's a young, bright player for Campbell with a lot of promise.
From a 24-year-old in Taya Bolden to a true 18-year-old in Audrey Fuller.
She's just a smart, heady player for Campbell. Does all the little things really well that coaches love.
She's contributed 2 points in 10 minutes today. And the lead extends to 20. Ruiz, the Spanish product, who was the lone player left when Coach Hill took over this program 3 years ago. Loves her dedication to the squad. Justice on tight defense and a reach-in foul for Tatiana Carver. And we'll take the media timeout. 20-point game with 4 minutes to go. Please don't go anywhere. We're going to talk some Taya Bolden when we come back. Bolden reaching 1,000 career points in the second half. Also, there's your 1,000th rebound. A little anticlimactic on the finish, but what a monumental moment for the senior.
Hey, 1,000 is 1,000 is 1,000, and double 1,000 tonight for that young lady. She's putting herself up there with some elite athletes that have played the game here at Campbell.
One of 4 players all time with 1,000 points and over 1,000 rebounds.
From Highland Springs, Virginia.
How about Ronnie Fisher keeping a senior in the game, too, with 4 minutes to play?
Say that again, Evan?
How about keeping the senior in the game with 4 minutes to play?
He's letting her go, letting her enjoy the moment.
Fuller hard in the lane as Reed cuts in. There's Justice for 3. And the story of this game for Western Carolina, a lot of missed shots. There's a make. Back-to-back for Madison Pack, the graduate senior, transfer from Columbia.
Yeah, good offensive rebound that time by Reed to get the second chance point, to help them get the second chance point.
That's a season best, 4 points for Pack, who's setting to get her master's at Western Carolina. Bolden is triple team. That's a smart decision. Here comes Reed in transition. Ruiz keeps her footing and counted. Andrea Martin Ruiz to the free throw line.
Hey, Western's hanging. They're not quitting. They're still fighting. Good to see Tooley come back for Campbell.
Andrea Martin Ruiz at the line shooting one.
So Ruiz so able to miss the free throw. Bolden adds to her rebound totals. 15 tonight.
Nonetheless, who gets a rebound?
So 15 points, 15 rebounds for Bolden. Who has been doubled all night.
Oh,
good find.
nice.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, foul there, but beautiful pass there from Bolden.
You know, Bolden, when she's getting those double and triple teams, being undersized, she has to work hard and look early to find the open person, but that time she really did a nice job of spotting Nuremberg on the backside.
So Svenja Nuremberg to the line. Wants to join the scoring party. 8 have been on the board. It'll stay that way after the miss. Nuremberg 0 for everything. 0 for 4 from the field. 0 for 3 from the free throw line. And there's her first.
There she goes.
So 9 players have scored tonight. Oduya has had a rough day of it, just traveled. And Western Carolina with its 21st turnover.
Well, they're staying on Price.
By the way, the race to 50, Campbell has won that, 50-33. Wasn't sure if anyone was going to get there tonight. A little bit of a low-scoring affair as Carver tries to add 3 more. Bolden picks up another rebound. So 16 boards for Bolden, who kicks it to Nuremberg. Hey, Ronnie Fisher's just working the shot clock here with all these rebounds. Tipped by Oduya and a steal. Tooley tries to join the party and gives up a layup.
I tell you, you got to hand it to that Oduya young lady. She is playing hard.
So Vanessa Oduya, no points in her last game, has 9 today. Nuremberg left wide open. You kind of want her to shoot it there. I can see your face, Coach. When you're that open. Bolden spins the lane. Oh, it's a filthy finish. 16 points and 16 rebounds for Bolden. Timeout, Western Carolina. So Wanda, for Campbell coming up with a big stretch here, of course, Education Day next week, which should be a guaranteed win. Then heading to Las Vegas for a 2-game tournament. How valuable will that stretch be before the start of conference on December 29th?
Well, I think that going into that stretch and playing through those games and being in that tournament is really going to tell Campbell a lot about themselves, because with fierce competition in that tournament, the caliber of teams that they're going to be facing, you know, it's going to be great for them going into conference play, coming in after that, playing North Carolina, or excuse me, playing Hampton right after that.
Catamounts have Tennessee Tech coming up, and then some winnable games, South Carolina State and Davidson, before a tough test against ECU at the start of the year.
Yep, some more in-state rivals coming up for Western.
Coach, these teams are playing hard with 2 minutes to go. You couldn't tell the score by how this game's unfolded.
No, you really could. Both teams.
Let's see what Western Carolina has left in these final 2 minutes.
A lot of energy out on that court.
Trying to avoid a third straight loss, including an overtime defeat at Upstate, a loss to Winthrop. Oduya looking for double figures, gets the ball back, and now she's fouled by Thule.
I tell you, she's all over the place.
You ever had this stretch, Coach? 3 straight games against a team from the same conference?
Say that again, Evan?
You ever had 3 straight games against a team from the same conference?
Hey, I don't know about that. That's a little unusual, isn't it? Wow, looked like Thule got her hand on that ball.
Yeah, Western Carolina's played 6 Big South teams, and Kylie Hill said, we want to play more teams like-minded to our program, figure out where we sit in the national landscape, and that's what you're going to learn in this stretch.
Western going to stretch their defense out a little bit here.
I mean, that doesn't really tell the story because Taya Bolden checks out, and she finishes a fantastic night with 16 points and 16 rebounds.
Yeah, that young lady deserves a standing ovation. 1,000.
Good ball pressure here from the Catamounts. They've had no answer for Campbell tonight, including on this drive by Coleman, who misses a bunny, but gets back on defense.
I tell you.
I mean,
love that hustle.
You're going to miss it, but at least you get back.
That's right.
There's a kick ball. Okay. You can tell both teams are ready to pack the buses and head home tonight. Semester finals around the corner for both.
Ready to call it a day. Yeah, and that poses an interesting time for Campbell. You know, during exams, it's always tough because you have to practice a little and you have to give them time to take care of their academics. You got to find a happy medium during that time period.
And Nadia Marshall with the foul. Campbell is now in the bonus, so free throws the rest of the way. And that'll give Audrey Fuller a chance to add to her point total. It's about all I got for you with 1 minute 19 seconds to go.
Yep, just a little bit of a bump there.
That's 17 team fouls for Western. Campbell has 11 tonight.
You know, I think that exam period and that time period when teams are here during the holidays is when they get close and when it really gives them an opportunity to kind of focus just on basketball once they get their exams behind.
Not the trip to Las Vegas before Christmas?
Hey.
That doesn't unify a team?
Absolutely. You know, when you hit the road and you travel and you play that kind of competition, I think absolutely it does. And then you get a little teeny tiny break for Christmas and it makes you realize how badly you want to get back around your friends and play the game you love.
That's tipped out of bounds. Good effort by Joy Reed. By the way, Taya Bolden, who sits on the bench now, she becomes the 8th player in Big South history with 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds.
How about that? Something to really be proud of. I know her family and as well as Coach Fisher and his staff are proud. I'm proud. We're all proud.
Final minute here in Gore Arena. The story tonight, Taya Bolden dominating with 16 points and 16 rebounds. Fuller, late in the clock, no. Oop. Gosh, Nadia Marshall loses it out of play.
Mama said there'd be days like this, didn't she?
Unfortunately, Mama's been saying it too many times this year. Credit to Ronnie Fisher's defense for making life tough, I suppose. Joy Reed gets away with a bump. Oh.
Mirror steal.
The ball's a little slick tonight as Ruiz cuts to the basket. That's a nice layup for Andrea Martin Ruiz, her 4th point.
Yeah, nice step and drive to the basket that time.
So Campbell will even the all-time series in the 22nd matchup, 11 apiece. hanging on to a convincing win, wire to wire, led by as many as 21 tonight to pick up a 5th victory. So a late turnover here with 5 seconds left.
That's going to about do it, Evan.
That's a combined 40 turnovers if you're keeping track at home.
Pep band's getting a little excited.
So the final seconds tick off here in Gore Arena as Campbell's defense comes to play. That 3 counts. So the Catamounts hit 40 points. Your final 50-43 as Taya Bolden shines in this game, 16 points and 16 rebounds.
Great night for Bolden and the Camels. Defense being the name of the game.
So our officials are checking to see if the shot counts, and I don't think it really matters. Nonetheless, our Hercules Tires player of the game, Taya Bolden, with an impressive performance.
Great night for Bolden. I know, she's seeing some of her goals and aspirations come true. 1,000 points, 1,000 rebounds. She's joining so many, a select few former Campbell players to be in that elite category. I know her family's really proud.
So for Wanda Watkins, I'm Evan Budrovich signing off from Gore Arena. Taya Bolden shines tonight with a double-double, and the Camels pick up a 5th win. We will see you next Wednesday. This is a presentation of ESPN as the Camels a 13-point winner. That shot does count to close things out here on ESPN+.